This challenge mode against Snow Wind or Yukikaze is one of those times in this game where having a Ph.D in ship reload timing would be helpful. So these are the challenge modes we've had so far, and Gemini was you can brute force it, Cancer brute force, Leo brute force. Virgo you had to time it a bit. Libra brute force, Scorpio you can just brute force it with like Perseus or something. Perseus will auto heal every 20 seconds. And Sagittarius Horse Bite was the hardest one before this month, I think, because you had some timing to do and you need your backline to not die. Capricorn was brute force, Aquarius was brute force, and last month, or it's still this month, it's still brute force. So finally we have Yukikaze, and well, this is the 11th one. There's one more next month, but anyways, Yukikaze is probably the hardest one so far, and you need your timing to be quite good in order to beat it. So this is a theory for now, at least, because there's one more hour until the month switches over and then I can test my own fleets. But the structure of the video is going to be like, first I'll talk about the strategy, and then second I'll give some example fleets that implement that strategy. Those example fleets have to be, if you want to copy the homework, then you have to match the reload and match the affinity quite well. If you're like 5 reload off, it's okay, probably. But if any more than 5 reload, and then you'll have a bad time, I think. And then finally, third part, by that time, I guess the month will have ticked over, and then I can put in my own runs, like testing some of the fleets. So you can jump around to the part that you want to watch. Okay, first is strategy. So to begin with strategy, we need to read the boss skills, and the boss skills are somewhere here. So basically every 20 seconds boss fires a barrage. That literally doesn't matter. You can ignore that completely. 15 seconds after the battle starts, and every 20 seconds after that, she blocks 100 hits. Blocks 100 hits. So you want your vanguard to have fast firing guns in order to break that shield or interrupt that shield before your main fleet hits the boss, right? So 100 hits. Now the second skill is the annoying part. So 20 seconds after battle starts and every 40 seconds after that. So basically every other salvo from your main fleet summons 3 thingies, and those thingies will heal the boss and themselves for 100% of their max HP every 0.3 seconds. So basically it's constant healing, and you need to kill those 3 life buoys as quickly as possible. And then this part doesn't really matter. So those life buoys somewhere here. So the boss will go to the middle. The boss will go to the middle of the screen, and then she will summon these 3 things around her in this position. And these things have 10,000 HP, like here. So they have 10,000 HP, and since they're healing back to full HP every 0.3 seconds, you need to kill them basically in one volley from a battleship. Or you can just bomb them with a bunch of aircraft bombs, like from Tenrai or such. Basically, your vanguard will not be able to kill will not be able to do 10,000 damage within 0.3 seconds. Unless you get like lucky with a base torp or something. And of course I'm talking about auto, because for manual this should be pretty easy. If you can manual, then you can save airstrikes and dump a bunch of airstrikes right before these things spawn, and as soon as they spawn they'll just die. And these things have 0 evasion and 0 luck, and they don't move. But unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, they have lower priority than the boss does, so your main fleet attacks will target the boss. Which is going to be fortunate, actually. So there are several ways to, well, maybe not several ways, but just a few ways to deal with these 3 things. So they spawn every 40 seconds, and you want to kill them as quickly as possible. So if you use triple battleships, those battleships, their first volley will always aim at the boss, and since these things are pretty far apart, so like 10 units from here to here, your battleships will not be able to splash them completely, and basically the first volley will target the boss and not hit those 3, and then second and third volley might randomly, it's all up to RNG, right? They might randomly hit the 3 life buoys and kill them. But basically that's inconsistent. And Bismarck's black hole is not going to be able to suck them up because they are too far apart. So there's one best battleship for this battle, and it's not Bismarck, even though it's a light boss and light enemies. Bismarck is usually the best battleship. But here it's Sovietsky Soyuz, the one we just got, because her barrage looks something like this, right? So her barrage has 1 bomb in the middle, iceberg, whatever you want to call it, 1 bomb in the middle, and then 6 bombs spread out evenly around it. And it just so happens that each of those bombs, if you max her like level 125 and enough tech and stuff, each bomb can do 2,500 damage to these buoys, according to my calculations at least. And she has high crit rate anyway, so it's likely that some of them will crit. So basically you need 4 bombs to hit each of those green circles, which should happen according to my calculations again. 4 bombs should hit each of those things, and if it does, then yeah, basically they just insta-die. So Sovietsky Soyuz is one of the ways to deal with them. And basically you want her to finish reloading, because this barrage happens when she finishes reloading her main guns. You want her main guns to finish reloading every 20 seconds, like pretty much exactly every 20 seconds. And that will wipe these things before they can heal. The other way is to just bomb it with your carriers. So lots of splash damage, AoE damage. The hard part is getting your carriers to have 20-second reload. So one thing to note is that when the battle begins, your main fleet ships don't start reloading until 1.5 seconds into the battle, around 1.5 seconds. So since these things spawn at 20 seconds, then your main fleet has only had 18.5 seconds to reload. So if you set your main fleet reload to 20 seconds, as you should try to get close to, they'll finish reloading at around 21.5 seconds, which is 1.5 seconds after these green balls have spawned. But fortunately, after these green balls spawn, they don't heal the boss and themselves for 1.5 seconds. Like, it's quite convenient, quite a convenient coincidence. This thing, summoning sickness duration 1.5. So most enemies, when they spawn, they just sit there for 1.5 seconds and then they start moving and attacking and stuff. So these things, healing skills, don't take effect until that summoning sickness is over. So it's okay if Soyuz has exactly 20-second reload, then she should wipe them after they healed 0 or 1 times, most. So Soyuz is one strategy, and the other strategy is just brute forcing. I mean, I just said you can't brute force it, but basically still brute forcing it with carriers. But you need to time your carriers to 20 seconds in order to kill these things fast enough. And carriers should be faster than 20 seconds actually, because they started reloading 1.5 seconds late, and then so if your carrier is 20 seconds reload, then they will launch an airstrike right when these 3 things start healing. But it takes time for the airplanes to reach them and drop bombs. Like 2 seconds, say. 2 to 3 seconds. So your carriers need to be a bit faster than 20 seconds in order to kill these things quick enough. And I think that's all the theory. Not sure if I wanted to talk about anything else. So let's move on to sample fleets. And I have 6 sample fleets. So first is carriers, kind of brute forcing, but basically, spoiler alert, all of these fleets contain a bunch of rainbow ships. Like, if you don't have enough rainbow ships, then I guess you're out of luck this month. This is kind of endgame material, so don't feel too bad about not having a stack account and a Ph.D. So each of these fleets has a very specific reload requirement, and this first fleet is 200 affinity on the main fleet. The Vanguard usually doesn't matter, but just Vanguard needs these guns. They're like fast-firing guns with a lot of shells. In fact, I don't want these Fumos. I want autoloaders, so that they fire their guns faster to break that 100 hit shield fast enough. So this first fleet has a requirement of... Let me make sure it's the same. It is not the same. Not this one either. Okay, this one. So it requires 70 to 80 reload. So your tech can go up to 40 reload currently, and your cats can go up to 40 reload. So basically 80 reload is the maximum, and you need 70 or higher reload for this to work. So yeah, very high end pump. So what's happening here is that these carriers are slightly faster than 20 seconds, as I explained. So 19.70. Currently I have them set at 74 reload. So at 74 reload, this is 19.7, and this is also about 19.7 after the beacon takes effect. So for the first few airstrikes, they're going to be kind of slow to kill those 3 life buoys, so hopefully Kearsarge kills some of them at least. That's why she has AFCT, so she fires the main gun early. And Kearsarge also helps with this airplane. She should have a Hellcat with H bars. And this one can be +10, it's okay. It's more important for the +13s to be on the carriers because they actually deal damage. So this Kearsarge's airplane is going to hit the boss's shield, the 100 hit shield, and it's going to help break it. And while helping breaking it, it's doing no damage. So she has 4 planes and each plane does 6 rockets, so that's 24 hits. 24 out of 100 is quite a big chunk. Very helpful for helping the Vanguard deal with that before the other main fleet attacks are gonna hit. So yeah, standard anti-light fleet. Second is kind of broken, I think, because when I made this, I thought that the boss would stop at the center for 8 seconds while she's summoning these 3 things, and she does do that. She stops in the middle for 8 seconds. So that's why I didn't bring a slow, like Implacable. But the thing I forgot about is that she only summons these life buoys every 40 seconds, so every other airstrike she's zooming around instead of stopping in the middle, so basically Shinano's Ju 87D will miss, and Shinano's torpedo bombers is quite a large chunk of her damage, so that's kind of sad. If I put Spearfish here, then the timing doesn't work. There's no way to make this work anymore. So back to Ju 87D. This fleet could still work if you just give up on these torpedoes. I think it should still work. So explaining here, Soyuz is at 20 seconds. So yeah, for reload requirements, this one is down here. So maximum CPU reload, 80 CPU reload. That's even higher than this one. This one requires 70 plus. This one put maximum 80. So probably like nobody's going to use this anyways. Max tech and max cap reload. And all of them are at 200 affinity. And Soyuz has 0 reload from tech with a +7 autoloader. So I guess she doesn't actually need the oath. The 200 affinity, you can make it work by adjusting the autoloader and the tech. But if you have 80 carrier reload and 200 affinity on the carriers, then I'm guessing you also have 200 affinities. I just copy this. So +7 autoloader. This makes Soyuz at 19.9 seconds, I think, somewhere around there. So she will deal with the 3 balls. And then carriers are also 20 seconds, a bit below 20 seconds. Or yeah, this is with 74 tech. So if you 74 reload. If you do 80 reload, then they're a bit below 20 seconds, and then they'll hit the boss when she's stopped after spawning these things. But for every other salvo, then they might miss. And then Shinano requires 3 IJN ships. So Kazagumo's just doing something there. This is actually quite sad because these 3 vanguards might not break the shield fast enough for Soyuz to hit it with the main gun. So there's a bit of damage loss here, if that happens. And he should be autoloaders again. And if the Vanguard pressure is low, then we don't even need butter. We can put Goldburn for even more reload. And same here, actually, no Oxytorp, use autoloader. Like that. I'm assuming if you have all of these these top ends setups, then you have 2 Goldburns to go around. Here, maybe. gold burn. And also, instead of crossbow, use sword for even more reload. So yeah, in summary, I don't expect anyone to use this second fleet. And just pretend these are all autoloaders. I'm not going to waste time changing them now. But third fleet is... what's happening here? Oh, giving the Sky Raider to Implacable and the Tenrai to Yorktown too. And why that happened is this one requires less tech and reload. So as you can see, she has 100 affinity here and 100 affinity. The carriers have 100 affinity. And this one only requires like 53, 52, 53 reload without oath. If yours are oath, then adjust the reload tech accordingly. And Kearsarge, ideally she is 200 affinity because she is quite slow. And after starting with the AFCT early salvo, she will keep falling backwards, slower and slower. Vanguard, same deal. And yeah, I think that's fine. So Sky Raider usually goes on Yorktown too, because she does the most damage, has the strongest type bomber slot, besides Haku. But it makes her too slow for this low tech setup. 52, 53 reload. And besides, the Tenrai will help clear the thingies, the 3 balls. So yeah, now we get to the battleship fleets. So fourth one, Soyuz, is on faster than 20 second reload, much faster than 20 seconds. But let me explain. This one requires... one is the first one, right? So this one requires 4 reload without oath. So none of them are oath. They're all 100 affinity, and then you should have 4 reload from tech and cats together. So cats are usually 0 reload, so just have 4 tech reload. And basically Soyuz has like a 19 second reload, but she starts without AFCT. And Bismarck starts with AFCT. So Bismarck is at 20 seconds reload. Pretty much exactly 20 seconds. With 4 reload without oath, Bismarck is at 20 second reload. And that means she shoots first, and after shooting, these things haven't spawned yet. After Bismarck shoots, Vanguard will shoot. That's why Soyuz only has an 8+8 autoloader. If it's any higher, then she might go before Vanguard, and that's not what we want. So Vanguard shoots second, and due to how battleships block each other with GCD, global cooldown, after Bismarck fires, Vanguard fires like a few seconds later on the first salvo, since this AFCT makes a big difference. And then after Vanguard fires, 1.2 seconds after Vanguard fires, Soyuz will fire. So on the first salvo of the battle, when these 3 balls first spawn, they might sit there for a while, healing the boss back to full HP. That's okay. In later salvos, Vanguard will have caught up to Bismarck, and Soyuz will be caught up to Vanguard as well, because Vanguard was being blocked by Bismarck, and then now Vanguard is blocking Soyuz. So basically Soyuz is firing 2.4 seconds, around 2.4 seconds after Bismarck does. And since Bismarck is at 20 second reload, well, this AFCT makes it so that 2.4 seconds after Bismarck is about good enough to kill these 3 things before they start healing the boss. So yeah, this is complicated timing things you might need a PhD to understand. Same deal here, you put autoloaders, gold burn, autoloader, and since Bismarck is shooting before 20 seconds, Helena should have an SG radar, but unfortunately the Vanguard might not break the shield fast enough before Bismarck fires, so Bismarck's first volley will probably be doing no damage. But that's okay, still put the SG radar, because why not? And I guess maybe even these small buffs might be better turned to autoloader as well. So yeah, 4th fleet uses 4 reload tech. Now 5th fleet is full oath version. If you don't have an unoathed Bismarck, then you only have oath Bismarck with 200 affinity. That Bismarck is too fast for 20 seconds. Even if you set tech down to 0, she's still too fast. So now we're doing the same thing. We're blocking Soyuz, so that Soyuz goes last, 3rd. But this time we're using New Jersey to block her. So basically same thing, except that these battleships have 200 affinity, and the autoloader can be +9 now. It's okay if it's still +8. +8 will still work, but +9 probably gives more firepower, like one more firepower, that min-maxing thing. And these are at how much tech reload? Zero tech. So set battleship reload down to 0, and then like just copy this exactly. And then Vanguard, same deal. Like same gear for Vanguard. And maybe I'll explain these guns now. So this gun, the French gun, has 6 shells and it's fast enough, I guess. Reloads fast enough. So Plymouth gun only has 4 shots, 4 shells, 4 bullets. So we want the guns that shoot 6 bullets, so that the Vanguard can break the shield faster. So Seattle gun is actually the fastest gun that does 6 shells. But the French gun is also pretty fast and does a lot more damage, so it's okay. Finally, 6th fleet is also full 200 affinity, and this time what's happening? Basically, this one uses 8 battleship reload, and Soyuz is at 20-second reload. So like when she was in the carrier fleets over here. This one is 20 seconds with the +7 autoloader, because she doesn't have a reload buff for herself when she's with carriers. But when she's with 2 other battleships, then, or if she's with at least 1 other battleship, I think, she gets a 10% reload buff, and that makes the autoloader difference. So this is 20-second reload, just trust me. And these 2 other BBs are fast, much faster than Soyuz, so that they don't interfere with her on the first salvo. They don't block her with GCD. And the Vanguard and Bismarck just zoom ahead and don't sync with Helena, so I got rid of Helena here and put Tigan. A lot of ships will work here. Like even Helena is okay still. because Hona is still buffing Soyuz and stuff. Basically, DGG has main gun mount 2 and fires a lot of bullets. So, good. So again, this fleet uses 8 reload for battleships. And those are the 6 fleets that I made so far. If you can't match any of these fleets, then it's time to put your Ph.D. to work, if you have one, and follow the same strategy that I talked about, which is either Soyuz at 20 seconds or Soyuz being blocked by a battleship that's at 20 seconds, or just using fast carriers faster than 20 seconds and hope that their bombs kill those life buoys before they heal too much. So here's hard, and I'm using the third fleet, the third example fleet that I showed. So here's our Yorktown with Tenrai, and Implacable with Skyraider. So this fleet, I said it needs 52 or 53 reload, but my carriers are Oath with 200 affinity, so that's like plus 7 reload, so I'm going to use like 45 reload, and so I put 25 reload tech here, and my cat has 20 reload, so I left the other cat empty to like nerf myself on purpose a bit, although my offensive tech is still at max, and I'm using a bunch of plus 13 gear. But here I'm just trying to test the timing. So if the timing works, then even if you have a little less damage, then it should still work. And I forgot to discuss submarines. So submarines, I don't know, just use normal submarines with like sailors and snorkel and hull. And then they can help break the shield, although it's kind of a waste to do that. But every 40 seconds they can help delete these life buoys if they survive for too long for some reason. Like that one, the bottom left life buoy kind of survived for a long time. Although this is just the first airstrike and my carriers need some time to catch up. So let's see, like maybe at 906, 905, summon submarines so that they hit the life buoys as soon as they spawn. Unless they're aiming at with Type 95 Kaizen, it doesn't really work that way. So this time the top left one survived for a bit longer. But it's okay if one of them, it's only 10,000 HP per 0.3 seconds if one of them survives. I also forgot to mention that, I mean, I showed it on screen, but I didn't point it out that the boss has 100 evasion and 100 luck, which is quite high. So bring Aurora or Sirius, one of them. So it seems that my Vanguard is having no problem breaking the shield before Gear Sarge or the carriers rock the boss. So at the beginning of the battle, the airstrikes are later, and those 3 life buoys survive for longer. But as the battle goes on, the carriers, since they're faster than 20 seconds, they catch up and start killing the life buoys earlier and earlier. But you can't make your carriers too fast, otherwise if the battle lasts for too long, then those carriers will finish dumping their bombs before the life buoys even spawn. So it's a balance between how fast you clear and how fast your carriers are. So I'm clearing pretty fast since my account is quite good. So since the battle ends early, my carriers can be faster than other people can use. So even if my carriers are fast, the battle will end before they pass like 20-second mark for dumping their payloads. .342 first try. I wasn't counting how many Helena scans though. I think sub 3 minutes should be possible for me. And for submarines, I'm using random Type 95 ties. So bidders might be better, I think. Because bidders have a 20-second reload and you can line them up for the 40-second life buoys to help delete them faster. So now I chose the third fleet to demonstrate because it's the one that most people will be able to copy. Not the first fleet, not the second fleet. This one requires less reload. So I'm also going to demonstrate one of the battleship fleets. So I guess like the fourth fleet, which is the least. I mean, you don't need oaths for this. 100 affinity is okay. So this one, I forgot how much reload it was. So let me search it again. 0. Wait, 0? No, 4 reload. 4 reload without oath. So let me go set it up real quick and be back later. Actually, I can't copy this because my Bismarck is oath. So I guess I'll show the New Jersey one, since New Jersey isn't you're more likely to have her than Bismarck. Although Vanguard kind of makes that move. But anyways, New Jersey, Soyuz, and Vanguard all at 200, and this one uses 0 reload. So let me change that now. Oh, actually it has a SD radar for Helena. And for cats, I will put 2 cats to make the battle faster. I really don't want to waste time on these long battles. So same submarines with Type 95 guys. You should use bidders though. So New Jersey cars first, and then hopefully Vanguard's next. And Soyuz Barrage already deleted those before she even fired because Even though Soyuz is blocked by Vanguard, her barrage is on finished reloading gun, not on fire gun. But let's see how it goes for the next few salvos. So since Soyuz should barrage and kill those light buoys perfectly, it doesn't matter when you summon submarines, because I guess you can summon submarines to time with your Helena debuff. So 9. Now, oh, Soyuz was too early there. So something went wrong, and maybe New Jersey has to be just a slight slower than that. Let me watch one more salvo, and then like one more salvo for light buoys, and then if it's still too early, then I have to fix the timing. Oh, I know what's the problem now, because even though Vanguard is blocking Soyuz having a 19-second reload means that she's basically finishing reloading too early. And the barrage already fired. Yeah, that was too early again, so I know how to fix this. And that is... let's see... just making the auto reloader slower, like lower enhance. So 10% reload and 0 reload from tech. And then she's using Mark 7. So this is 20.11, except that she has a +9 autoloader, which is 32. So she was at 19.01, but I want to make that slower, so let's see. But she still has to be faster than 20 seconds. Okay, a +0 autoloader would be 14, and that is 19.61. It's actually more like 19.71 in game. Which probably should be fine. So let me change this to a +0. She does have to be faster than 20 seconds by enough so that she catches up to New Jersey and Vanguard in a reasonable amount of time. So let's try again. Which means that for this fleet it also has to be 0.
力を貸して。
技名はファイヤーコントロール。恥ずかしいからやっぱりなし。
You know, Vanguard is taking a while to break the boss shield, but then New Jersey's first volley, as well as a barrage, is hitting the wings, the shield. And Helena is kind of low HP, so maybe she needs a bit more defensive auxiliaries. Summon some Marines to speed up the battle a bit. So now that Soyuz has caught up to Vanguard and New Jersey, it seems that she is not too fast, and she's killing the life buoys as soon as they spawn during the summoning sickness, the 1.5 second window where they're not healing the boss, so that's good. The New Jersey is just a pinch faster than 20 seconds. So we'll have to see later if Soyuz is still catching those life buoys after they spawn. And that was barely slow enough to do it. I think there's no way to make New Jersey slower though, since I'm already at 0 tech. Yeah, this timing is really close. I think if New Jersey goes just a bit faster, like towards the end of the battle, if you take almost a full 10 minutes, then Soyuz will be too fast, and then the boss will start healing too much. And this Vanguard really sucks at breaking that boss shield. Because in the carrier fleet, I had Tier Sarge with the 24 rockets, helping a lot. That time, I think the boss was too far up, and then Soyuz's barrage didn't hit the bottom left
失礼しますね
life buoy. It's not because the Soyuz was too early, it was because the boss was not in the middle.
ファイヤーコントロール頼むわよ恥ずかしいからやっぱりなし一致団結を失礼しますね
And Aurora and Helena are almost dead, so we need to fix that later. Since this is only a 5-minute battle, if you take longer, then they're dead, basically. And if they're dead, then the boss shield stays up for too long,
力を貸して
and then you do a lot less damage.
頼むわよ恥ずかしいからやっぱりなし一致団結
And there we have, at 5 minutes, Soyuz's barrage was too early and didn't kill the life buoys.
計画通りの勝利
But fortunately, the battle just ended already. This 2 million is pretty stat padding because she's hitting 3 targets or 4 targets with her barrage. But anyways, this battleship fleet needs some timing fixes, some further fine-tuning.
指揮官はリードしてあげる私とリードさ
And
れちゃう
unfortunately, I
私
don't think it's
どっちの
possible with New Jersey at 200 affinity.
ご覧の通り
I can't make New Jersey any slower. But for the front, we can,
本日のご
since
希望は何
Limit
かあり
was
ますか
full HP, give her the +0 auto load, gold burn, I mean. And
指揮官さんセントルイス姉さん
Helena
私
needs
が何かをす
HP,
るたびに大きくな
and
指揮官さん
Aurora also
装
needs
備についてお役に立てることはあり
some
ませ
kind
ん
of
か
HP. Like this RPG Ox, I guess. Because this has a... Well, it has a 1/3 chance of giving your whole fleet a small buff in damage, or all stats basically. And it has a 1/3 chance of healing your vanguard every 35 seconds, which is good. And 30, I mean, 1/3 chance of firing a barrage, which is basically useless in a long battle like challenge mode. But I think this is better than the other options. Like USB is the other option. And there's no third gold burn. So yeah. RPG Ox, I think, should be the pick here. Hopefully everyone has it. So since we can't make New Jersey any slower, we can make Soyuz even slower than this 14. So like if it's 19.61, like according to the calculator at least. I'm just checking the relative times here. So if I make Soyuz 0.14 seconds slower, then I think she should last the whole 10 minutes. Of course, it also depends on your device and other lag factors, but 10 should be fine. And how to get 10? There is a grammar. So blue rammer 9, that's +0. So +0 rammer can get 9. And this, I think this will work. So 19.88 seconds in game. It'll take quite a while to catch up, but it's okay because she's still killing the life buoys. Like there's a 1.5 second sickness grace period. So yeah. So rammer here, and rammer here should also work. And for this one, no changes needed. At least I hope no changes needed. Here we need some HP. like that. And I think that's it for this video. So don't be like me. So I was using Plymouth gun on Plymouth, but like clearly my fleet had problems breaking the shield fast enough. So put like be a good boy and put the 6 shell guns. And
私
yeah.
指揮官さん、装備についてお役に立てることはありませんか？
So this one can actually take autoloader. And yeah, I think that's it.